up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Inside the Vinyl. I'm your host, Tim Bianconi. If you would go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below, that would be greatly appreciated. If you could also hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime I put out new content, that would be appreciated also. So, this is part 2 of my May 19th, 2023 unboxings. Hopefully you already watched my Ghost unboxing, but this time we are going to open up the new Drastic Symphonies album from Def Leppard. So in case you don't know, this is an album where Def Leppard has taken many of their classic tracks, and actually some that, aren't as known. And actually, I don't really know if performing or re-recorded or anything like that's the right word. From what I've heard so far, it really sounds like they took, for the most part, the original tracks and just remixed them to add some symphony parts with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Again, pretty cool sounding, but I don't know how much of this stuff they actually re-recorded as far as the actual Def Leppard parts. So, let's get the box out of the way. Let's go ahead and take a look at this bad boy. Let's see, there's the front cover. Here's the back, and we'll get the cellophane off here in a second. So it says Drastic Symphonies, 16 classic Def Leppard tracks reimagined with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. This is just standard black vinyl, so I didn't get anything special here, which is perfectly fine. So yeah, very interesting. Like I said, when I read the story about the album, it did mention, that I guess there were some things that were re-recorded, and then some things not. And like I said, for the most part, what I've heard, it literally just sounds like remixes of the original recordings, with definitely some changes, but also with the symphony and everything added in. So still pretty cool, but I guess there was a part of me that was really hoping there were going to be like re-recordings. Not necessarily like in a live setting or something like that, but just like re-recordings of the actual classic tunes with, like maybe recorded with the symphony. But either way, really cool. I'm going to keep that hype sticker. So, all right. But the packaging on this is as stellar as ever, as stellar as Diamond Star Halos was last year, and all the box sets and everything they've put out over the last few years. I mean, this is an amazing package here. So there's the front cover without cellophane. Here's the back cover without cellophane. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we have inside. We have a gatefold that we open up, and it looks really cool. It looks like a picture of mannequins with orchestra instruments. So pretty cool. Interesting like color and everything on this. Like a very like kind of warm and sunny, but eerie at the same time. Like old and busted at the same time. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's the best description, but it's the best description I can give you. All right, so let's go ahead and pull out the first record. So if we look at one side, we see a picture of the band. Then, of course, in the middle there, looks like more mannequins with orchestra instruments. So pretty cool. Let's see, on the back here, it looks like it's got a track listing. I don't know if there's lyrics or if that is maybe some liner notes on, what they did with the, it looks like, it just looks like maybe some liner notes and some different things about who played what. So... All right, so if we take the first record out, you see a nice cool Def Leppard sticker in the middle there for Drastic Symphonies. Same thing on the back. I imagine the second record will probably be the same, but we're going to take a look at it anyway because maybe the inner sleeve is different. Let's see, I don't see anything else in there. All right, so let's go ahead and pull out the second one. See if there's anything else. There is not. All right, so here we go. Second record. Let's see, another picture of the band on this side. And then a picture on the back that fits more of the rest of the cover of the album with more liner notes, assumably about the tracks on this particular record. No, actually just some thank yous and different things. So yeah, what do I know? Track listing, who played what, did what, or whatever on the first record sleeve, and then some special thank yous and some other things going on the back of this record. And I imagine the record in here looks exactly the same as the first. Yes, it does. All right, but yeah, very nice, heavy, thick, 180 gram vinyl, and I like the colored vinyl. I think all that's cool, but there's not much prettier than just a brand new, thick 180 gram black vinyl. That's really nice. All right, so let's get all this back together a little bit. We can talk about this just for a second. So I'll just hold it like this for now, so I can see what the track listing is. So I've heard about half of this. I was actually able to download it, I guess, first thing this morning when it was released. And I did listen to a decent bit of it. But I didn't want to listen to the whole thing because what's the fun of release day if you've already heard the whole album? Thanks, downloads and everything that ruined that for myself and everybody else. So I do try to like not listen to everything, before I actually get the albums delivered. And I've done that with this one. But what I have heard so far has been kind of neat. And I like the interesting track list on here because you do have the usual suspects. There is a new, orchestra rework of Hysteria and Love Bites. Let's see. Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad? Too Late for Love. But and Animal, I mean, that was the first single that came out from this. But you've also got some deep tracks and some tracks from some lesser known albums. Like Turn to Dust is the opening track, and that's the on this record, but it's the second song from an album called Slang from '96. That wasn't well received, but it's a great album. You should listen to it if you haven't. But yeah, very interesting take on that, and I think this version actually has Phil Collin on the vocals. I could be wrong about that, but I thought that's what I just saw in the liner notes. But again, really cool version of that. Then it goes into Paper Sun, which was a song off the follow-up record from that called Euphoria from '99. And again, very, very interesting what they managed to do with it, with adding the orchestra pieces in. Because it's not, when I say they use the original tracks and just remixed orchestra pieces, I don't mean they just like slap some orchestra on the original track. I mean, they do a lot of things to the original track, take things in, add things in, take things out, whatever. And then, of course, with the orchestral parts brought in. So I don't want to make it sound like they just slapped some orchestra on the original track. That's not what they did at all. I just don't know how much of this is re-recorded. Now, one thing that is completely re-recorded and new is the version of Pour Some Sugar on Me that's on here. It is called the stripped version, and I don't know how much orchestra there is on it, but it's Joe Elliott singing with a lady who I guess covered this like maybe 20 years ago, and it's a totally different version. The melody's different, all that. It's sung very different. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you, because it's almost made to be more like a ballad, and given the lyrical content, it just kind of sounds weird in the context. I can't remember the lady's name. I'll put it below me here when I get to this point in the video. But then some other interesting things. There's some newer stuff like Goodbye, for Good This Time, Angels Can't Help You Now, and things like that. Let's see, Kings of the World, which is, more recent Def Leppard. But then the one I'm really interested to hear that I haven't listened to yet is what they did with Gods of War. Because that's a totally like intense, like a million things going on in one song as it is. So I'm really interested to hear, what they did, adding the orchestra into that. Very interestingly, I guess when I think about a record like this, I think about anything from like maybe Hysteria forward, as far as being able to add the orchestra to. But they actually do a rework of Bring It On the Heartbreak and Switch 625. That's kind of neat. I've heard a little bit of it, not the whole thing, but that's kind of neat. Now, again, you can tell it's pretty much the original tracks, just with the orchestra pieces mixed in or whatever. It's still kind of interesting that they reach back that far for something like for a project like this. Because High and Dry is such a like in-your-face hard rock album that I couldn't imagine any of those tracks, being reworked to with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra being added in. But they managed to do it here, so I'm interested to hear the rest of that and the rest of the record. So very cool, very different release, a little more of a compilation than a new album, but it is definitely reworkings and reimagined versions of a lot of well-known and some lesser well-known Def Leppard songs. So I would go ahead and check this out if I were you. That is Def Leppard Drastic Symphonies. That's all I've got for you this time. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we put out new content. I've got the rest of my unboxing videos where we unbox new releases. We also unbox reissues. Sometimes they're box sets. Sometimes they're CDs. Sometimes they're records. It just depends on what's coming out. And sometimes I just find something cool at the store that I've never seen before, and I'll just unbox it on here for shits and giggles. Whatever. It's my video. I can do whatever I want. All right. In addition to that, I've also got my the rest of my Inside the Vinyl series, which includes live albums as well as Lost Classics. I've got some concert footage from various festivals and shows over the last few years. And that about wraps it up. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.